want to tell a story about His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and it also involves Jun Po, Dennis Kelly, and I read it in Jun Po's book, Heartbroken Open, and then I guess, inadvertently, without looking for it, it piqued my interest a little bit in His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and then I ended up inadvertently finding these videos that recorded the event that was written in the book. And so basically the story, this is a true story, but the story goes that Jun Po was born Dennis Kelly. He was a Zen priest in the U.S. He was born in Wisconsin, maybe, or one of those Great Lakes states, and he maybe Michigan, and he his life story's is an interesting story, and then he becomes a Zen priest, and he is invited along with a whole group of Western Buddhist teachers to Dharamsala to meet with His Holiness and basically ask His Holiness questions and get guidance from His Holiness. And so he goes, and the Western teachers are talking about ethics, and they're talking about a particular Tibetan Buddhist teacher who had been doing sexual misconduct, and His Holiness had made the remark about this Tibetan Buddhist teacher, who was not present at the conference, but people were using him, I guess, maybe as an example of misconduct in general, or whatever, an example of the problems, the ethical problems that were happening with a lot of Buddhist teachers, I guess. And so His Holiness said that the issue with the teacher was that his insight was not deep enough. And Jun Po eventually says, may I be frank with you? And His Holiness says, yes, please. And Jun Po says, bullshit. You said his insight isn't deep enough. Bullshit. This is also from so I have this story from 3 different accounts. From Jun Po's book, from a video that Jun Po made in which he talks about it, and or an interview he was in or whatever, but he was talking about it on a YouTube video. And then also I saw a video of the conference, what I believe was the conference that he was referring to. And so Jun Po says, you said his insight isn't deep enough. Bullshit. He's been 10 years, he's spent 30 years in practice, 10 years of solo, intensive solo retreats, like three-year solo retreats in Tibet or in somewhere in the East, where his only contact during each 3-year period was with his teacher. and then he spent 10 years studying with you, His Holiness, and then spent 10 years studying with other teachers in America or somewhere else. And so it's like 30 years of practice, so bullshit that his insight isn't deep enough. And and His Holiness says, I understand why you feel that way. Do you? And Jun Po says, no. And, or something. And His Holiness says, or, Jun Po says, like, why? Or no, why? And His Holiness says, because your insight isn't deep enough. And yeah, basically, like, yeah, maybe should I end it there? Basically the idea that, like, that you can be enlightened, and this is Jun Po was talking about this in his book too, and he wrote another book about it, I guess, or maybe that's the one I'm referring to. Yeah, but it's like there's like two different tracks. There's like growing up and there's waking up, and you can be enlightened or like in some state of like seeing through your ego or something, but without having grown up, right? So you're still childish and whatever. And His Holiness, as far as I know, it's like disagrees with that. That like there's only one. That to be fully enlightened, you all fully enlightened beings are ethical in their actions, and if someone is doing unethical actions, they're not fully enlightened. And yeah, I'm inspired by that story, and I love that story. And yeah, thank you.